Great. So we've got 10 minutes. I'll go through my circuitous journey from Perth and beyond. So I had a lot of fun in med school. A lot of these guys are, yeah, I'm only going to keep that for a few seconds. But you might recognise some of those folks as now neurosurgeons and dermatologists and respectable individuals. But the thing I guess I learned in med school, partaking in all those extracurricular activities, is I'm a generalist, and I really I guess had an aversion to specialisation. And so a couple of years outside med, working as a doctor, came across an opportunity to pursue a medical device idea that a friend and I came up with. We were on a surgical term. We heard a surgeon say, "Gosh, I wish I could put one of these on everyone." It looked like this giant vacuum cleaner. And when we asked why he didn't do that, he said, "Well, these are $20,000 each." And something kind of triggered in my co-founder Ben and I. We thought, "Gosh, with a syringe and a spring, we could probably recreate that for about 20 cents. So we started kicking around with some ideas, some of them good, some of them bad. We ended up raising some investment capital from Kath Giles, sitting over here. Probably a good learning experience for all of us. You can see there Matt's crossing his fingers, and there's our lawyers looking around. They took most of the money, I must admit. But eventually, we got an idea going, and we built a bit of a business, had a really educational and transformative time in those 3 years, eventually quitting full-time med to focus on the med device project. Now, it didn't go anywhere, but around 2010, when we needed to raise $5 to $8 million to take this to market, a group out of Stanford raised $65 million to progress a very similar idea, which gave us some validation that we might be on the right path. And so I'm energized by creation. I think as you guys think about your career choices, pay attention to your personal energy. 2010, I got to go to Stanford. Had an interesting story to tell, I suppose. When you graduate from Stanford, they give you a small child to look after, which is a new innovation. But what I learned there was that problems are really important, and this was kind of emphasised to me having progressed through the Stanford Bio Design program, which I really wish I'd done before I did the med device. But finding a really good problem is actually much harder than coming up with a solution, and so it's really worth putting your attention and focus on that. From there, I joined this company, Palantir. They're a rather controversial company, co-founded by Peter Thiel. It was a lot cooler before he started endorsing Trump. He co-founded PayPal, made a bunch of money, then started Palantir. Initial clients were the law enforcement agencies, CIA, and various other intelligence groups. And they were really big on big data technology, looking to apply their technology to other problems in healthcare. So I joined that team there. That was us at the end of 1 year. 4 years later, we had a team of 50. Working on health deployments around the world, and what I learned there is like the power and the potential of technology. Then had some kids, and I learned that kids are awesome, but it's hard to do that in a small apartment in New York. So the wife eventually, as we came back for Christmas break, put her foot down and said, "I ain't doing that long flight again. You're staying in Perth." So that led me on a journey to Linear Clinic, where I now have the great privilege of leading this good-looking team, about 50 folks, and we work on first-in-human clinical research. And do I feel I'm kind of a manager? I've stepped into a CEO role. Do I still feel entrepreneurial? Absolutely, because I'm about managing opportunities, not just resources. And all of those little experiences that I picked up on the way, the primary one being learning how to fake it, and you're probably learning that through your clinical exams, is definitely paying off. So I thought I'd share some stats from Stanford that came out when they looked at entrepreneurship. And what's the probability of you guys becoming an entrepreneur? There's a really interesting study here. If you've had more than 16 roles, now that's a lot. You guys are postgrads, and maybe some of you have had a few roles in your life. Probability is about 30%. If you've had less than 3, you've stayed fairly consistent. Very, very low odds that you'll go on to be an entrepreneur. The more that you specialise at school also decreases your likelihood of pursuing an entrepreneurial career. And most entrepreneurs, I thought this was an interesting stat. We have the myth of folks being 27 and young Silicon Valley techs, but most folks start in the middle 30s. And that's probably because you need about that much time to actually figure out what the hell you're doing. In the beginning, you have a lot of naivete and time and a lot of self-confidence. It's a dangerous combination. And then eventually, I guess, as you mature, you get a better clarity around what really matters and what is a good problem. So I thought I'd share, if I've got a few minutes left, a few sort of petty insights that I've sort of picked up along the way. So you can't cross a chasm in 2 steps. If you're going to take this path, you really need to cut the lifeboats and take the leap. So, why take the leap? Well, we've got problems. I've got problems. We've all got problems in healthcare, big ones, and we need some different kinds of thinking to solve those. consider though as you're thinking about this risk is, of taking the leap, is what is, a few perspectives on risk. Know that strong cultures can be quite constraining. And you guys are about to graduate, you're about to become doctors, shake the hand of this guy, ask that other guy on the right where he gets his haircut, and maybe you can afford it. And you'll find that you're about to enter a really strong culture. I'm sure you guys feel that already in WAMSS, and that can actually be somewhat constraining. So it's worth paying attention to that when you're feeling risk aversion. Is it really rational to feel, conservative? The other thing is that it's worth thinking about is that losses loom larger in our minds than gains. And prospect theory is the science behind that. It's worth having a Google. I put the gas pump here because it's one of those, behavioural economic theories that explains why if we see, gas going a little bit cheaper, we'll stop. We hadn't planned to do this, but we've gone fill up our tank and spend money we didn't think of spending because we think we're getting a saving. And so, we don't always think about risk in a rational way. The other thing, though, to consider is that feelings of regret are usually much more intense when you miss out. And so if you've got leanings towards an entrepreneurial career, you think, do I have it? Do I have what it is in me to give it a go? Know that later in life, regret can kick in, and that can be a crappy feeling. And as you get older, age does have a really big effect on your tolerance for risk and your willingness to dive into an entrepreneurial pursuit. So it's worth doing it when you're younger, when the volatility is high, when the value of your option is high. What are the biggest risks? Well, you might lose your own money. You can always get another job. You might lose your reputation. That could suck. You might become constitutionally unemployable. This is what I fear. There's no way they're going to let me back into hospital. And maybe that can be your concern as well. If you're used to just running your own show and being autonomous, this can be a challenge. But what are the rewards? I think, I didn't put a picture for that. But the rewards are, freedom and optionality. And where I find myself now is when I compare myself to my friends who have made their way into consultant positions. They have true lifestyles. I won't disagree with that, and they really enjoy the mastery of their craft. But I get to think in a different kind of dream state and think about 3 to 5 year time horizons, and perhaps and kind of get a lot of energy out of the potential of the position I'm in. And I can work on a lot of different kinds of projects as well. So thinking about fighting risk aversion, here's some tips that I've sort of learned. If you consider your time horizon, if you think about needing to do stuff within 1 year, within 2 years, and you're always judging yourself in a compressed time frame, things loom larger. If you stretch what projects out over a longer time horizon, they tend to become more achievable and feel, more accomplishable. The other good thing to do is keep nurturing that idea. If you've got a good idea, you need to kind of breathe life into it and breathe life into your entrepreneurial sort of imaginations. And I think a good way to do that is by reading, checking in with podcasts of people that think like you, and keeping up with friends who share similar ideas. Now, getting started, a few good techniques. I think you've got to use the mornings. Sleep is probably, as you'll discover, maybe you already have, one of your only negotiable time factors. And so often, getting up in the morning, giving energy to your idea there is a way to kind of squeeze some space into a busy lifestyle. The other thing to think about is, as an entrepreneur, you don't need to actually have a lot of capital or money or resources, so don't let that hold you back. In fact, good entrepreneurs think about ways to rent resources, not actually buy them. Another is, how will you know when you're ready to start? I think key advice is that when you can visualize yourself doing it, when it starts to feel really real, then you're ready. Finally, this is a cool quote that inspired me. A human being should be able to change a diet, plan an invasion, butcher a hog, con a ship, whatever that is, design a building, write a sonnet, balance accounts, build a wall, set a bone, comfort the dying, take orders, give orders, cooperate, act alone, solve equations, analyze a new problem, pitch manure, program a computer, cook a tasty meal, fight efficiently, die gallantly. Specialization is forensics. Or Robert Harmon. Does anyone know what this guy's known for? Book? Yeah, this guy's nodding.
He is a science fiction writer.
He is. Yeah, Stranger in Australia, Super Troopers, Stormtroopers. Okay. Well, you guys know how to Google, so there you go. But that's it for me. Thanks, guys.